Next, addressing the high turnover rate among public school teachers. John Tulenko of Learning Matters Television, which produces reports for the NewsHour, looks at a Boston school where the teachers have taken charge.
For more than 20 years, Susan Slider loved being a public school teacher. But starting around 2001, with passage of the education law known as No Child Left Behind, her feelings began to change.
I started to feel deadened. I felt like I'd lost inspiration. I wasn't able to teach in the way that I had learned how to teach.
Her child-centered approach fell out of favor as testing and accountability became the new buzzwords.
Almost like a tsunami of a data collection frenzy. Such a shift. You have to do this because we want this number. We want this result on the test.
Gradually, her frustrations grew, and last March, Slider quit.
I got to a point where I was feeling like I was contributing to pain for children. And I didn't want to do that anymore. I couldn't keep teaching and hold on to any integrity.
This is an incredibly hard time to be a teacher. I really feel very, very badly for those who are in the classroom every single day. I don't think their work is respected or appreciated, and I think too often they feel dictated to.
To education professor Tony Wagner of Harvard University, the top-down climate in many public schools is contributing to an exodus of teachers. Some 8%, more than 200,000, quit each year. And a national survey found dissatisfaction with the job has increased from 40% 4 years ago to nearly 60% today.
Moving on, Gina, part A.
But rather than quit, some teachers are taking back their classrooms in what are called teacher-led schools, like Mission Hill School in Boston, Massachusetts. Kathy DeAndrea teaches kindergarten.
We're democratic, not just in theory, but in practice.
People talking about
anything that comes down the pike is a conversation, right? I can say, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's happening.
So what I want to do is strategize around...
Mission Hill is one of about 70 teacher-led schools that have emerged around the country in recent years. Some of them choose to operate without a school principal. Here they have one, but the job's different.
When you have a decision to make in this school, do you get the final word?
I don't get the final word.
Principal Ayla Gavins, who prefers to be called lead teacher, doesn't even get the traditional private office.
Because it's really a joint effort. I don't have all the skills, all the background, all the talent that this group has.
2, 3, 4 heads are better than one.
Yeah.
Just help figure out
in line with that thinking, all decisions, curriculum, budget, hiring, are voted on by the entire staff. Nothing goes forward until everyone agrees.
When we make decisions, we have a raise of hands. So 5, you strongly agree. 4, you agree, you have some reservations, but you can live with it. But if you put a 1, you disagree, and we stop. We don't go on until everyone can say they have a 5 or a 4.
With this authority, teachers decide the look and feel of their classrooms. There's lots of low lighting and soothing music. Arts and crafts are everywhere, all part of Mission Hill's personality. Teacher Janera Williams.
We're not going to use a packaged curriculum. We're going to use students' voices to shape our curriculum, that we're going to shape our curriculum around their interests.
I noticed that.
I think in most other schools, it's a lot of, you will follow this, you must follow this, and there's never any room to breathe.
But even those who favor giving teachers more say have reservations. Tony Wagner.
Too often, I think the teaching profession is a kind of heads down, get the job done, focus on the kids in front of you, do what's required, without having the time to sort of look around and reflect, how is the world changing? How is what I'm teaching today different from what I taught 10 or 20 years ago? How does it need to be different?
Say if you agree or disagree and why.
Teachers here like this model so much there's very little turnover. But it has its drawbacks when it comes to making hard decisions, with everyone voting and consensus required.
What happens if you can't agree in the end?
We get someone to help us. We talk and talk and talk, and it could take months to decide.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Right, so that leads perfectly to my next question. Raise your hand if you agree with this statement. In this school, we spend too much time talking and too little time deciding. Okay?
In the
we don't talk and talk and talk and things don't happen. We talk and talk and talk so things happen.
Some people might find that a very frustrating way to work.
I think it's an essential thing. Every time there is a situation when we're in disagreement and we talk and talk and talk until we're in agreement, it uncovers so many things, often many misconceptions or lack of trust or whatever things, poisonous things that can grow in a community. Doesn't happen here.
Your pattern.
Does putting teachers in charge result in students doing better? Here, 40% of the students are proficient in English. In math, 26%. That's on par with the rest of the district, but still low.
The public looks at your test scores and says, it's not working. How do you respond?
I think no school, no child, and no teacher should be evaluated on one slice of the puzzle.
So what else do you look at?
Come see it. See the work, right? Ask teachers in schools to put together portfolios of students' work so that you can see their progress. But what we don't do is change what we do so that we can only do better on this test.
You have to trust that the people who are closest to the child are working in a capacity of excellence. You have to trust that they know children well and are taking children where they need to go.
But the conundrum is this. Must student performance improve before teachers can be trusted? Or can we trust that greater independence for teachers will result in higher performance? Tony Wagner favors the hands-off approach, but not until we follow the lead of higher-performing countries, like Finland, that do far more to prepare teachers for the job.
Finland said, we've got to better prepare our teachers starting 35 years ago. They closed down 80% of the teacher preparation programs. So the motto in Finland today is trust through professionalism, not blind trust, not trust no matter what. It is that we have prepared you to be extraordinary professionals. Now we trust you to be the professionals we've trained you to be.
Here in this country, where many students fall behind, it's unlikely districts will simply hand teachers the keys to schools. Wagner's train and trust approach may be the best way to improve their satisfaction.